Waheguru, 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 Waheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji ki Fateh. What a beautiful Hukamnama this morning. What a blessed morning we have today. It starts with Suhi Mahela Panjwa on Ang Satso Chotali, 743 of the Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, and it's by the 5th Guru Sri Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj. Guruji keh rahe ne ki dino chadaye Duni jo lai. Dino simply means dharam, naam datan. When we you forget ourselves from namtan. Namtan is the wealth of the name of God, because we always pray Satguru Sikh ko namtan de, that oh God bless us with this wealth and this most beautiful wealth, which is the wealth of the name of the Lord Waheguru Ji. And Duni, the matlab hi hunda hai duniya wale paase. So if you look at these lines, Deen chadai Duni jo lai, when we connect ourselves more to the world, jo da matlab hunda hai jis manukh nu lai Paramatma landehan. When God chooses to put us on the path of worldliness more than the path of spirituality, then Guruji says, hey bhai, jis manukh nu Paramatma naam tan vihajan vallon hata ke duniya de tanwa la dendehan. When God himself withdraws us from the path of spirituality, God's path, and attaches us to the world, then jehra apne man nu swami de simran vallon hata ke duniyadari val jodda hai. Those people who do not want to chant the name of the Lord, or they forget to chant the name of the Lord, or they find it difficult to chant the name of the Lord and vibrate in the beautiful vibrations of the name of the Lord. Guruji says, what happens to these people? Let us understand in Spanish, because we get a lot of people, a lot of sangat now coming from Spain and Brazil and all those parts of the world, in addition to English, Hindi, and of course Gurbani, Punjabi explanations that we share with you. Because in Spanish, Guruji says, Quenes se separan del sendero del Señor, ye se van a vagar por el mundo. When God withdraws us from the path of spirituality, that's called backsliding. Backsliding means, once upon a time when I was a little child, our parents, our grandparents may have connected us to the name of the Lord, but as we grew older, Maya karan tawai murak logajan, like a fool, we connected ourselves more to the worldliness and the Maya of the world, the wealth of the world, and we forgot the spiritual wealth. Now in Sikhism, the beautiful thing is we believe in Miri and Piri. So Miri and Piri is both. Piri is of course spiritual wealth, and Miri is materialistic wealth. So it is not that I am advocating that you and I shouldn't be rich. In fact, if you sing the praises of the 10th Guru, Shahu Shehen Shah Guru Gobind Singh, he was the king of all kings. He has all kinds of wealth and all kinds of beautiful worldly possession. And Guruji says it's not that we do not aspire to have all these beautiful palaces and great big beds of comfortable beds and silk and satin clothes. Remember the Hukamnama that you heard yesterday? And if you don't have that link, please do send us a request, or ask the person who shared with you, or just come to Palji's channel on YouTube, or look for the Sikhism pages on Facebook and many other social media accounts, and you can hear that even in that Hukamnama yesterday, Guruji was talking about it's okay to have silken and satin clothes and be so rich, sleep in the most comfortable beds and have everything in your life, but at the same time let us not forget God. That is the beauty of the Sikh religion, that we balance Miri and Piri. So apna dharam chudaye kar mand adrishto ne jo maya mein lagaye han. So it is not like those people who forget the name of the Lord, spirituality, and they only attach themselves to worldliness. Then Guruji says, Duhi sarai Kumani Kahai. Duhi Sarai simply means Dohon Loka de which, both in this material world and the next world, the spiritual world hereafter. Kunami Gunegar Aparadi. Those people who disconnect from spirituality, those who only connect themselves to the worldliness, they shall be considered as Gunagar and Aparadi. And Gunagar and Aparadi are usually words that are used for the very, very, very high-end very extremist and extreme criminals of their time. And karaae means akhwanda hai. Those people are labeled as the extreme criminals of their time. Oh Manuk, they are the sinners not only in this world but in the world hereafter. Oh Manuk, doha jahana de vich is lok te parlok de vich gunagar akhwanda hai. They will be called as the greatest of the greatest criminals and the sinners and the evil doers, those who do not balance between both material and spiritual wealth. Note that I am not saying only one but both, because that's the beautiful concept of Sikhism, and that's why lots of people who were not born Punjabis and not born into Sikh families are today coming to the University of Sikhism.com, and they are my classmates, and we all sit together to learn the greatness of Pyo Dade da Khol Dita Khazana, the treasure chest of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji's knowledge, which is Gurbani's Jag Mein Chanan. It's going to be the light for this world, because even in Spanish it says save when malvados and ambos mundos, क्योंकि हिंदी में गुरु जी कहते हैं सो दुहू सराई लोक और परलोक में गुनाही कहावते हन. कौन लोग कहावते हन? गुनाहगार जो उस वाहिगुरु का नाम को भूलकर सिर्फ दुनिया की माया के पीछे भागते दौड़ते रहते हैं. ओ दोना ही जहाना दे विच पापी आखे जांदे हैं. आओ, let us not be called these kind of sinners. Maybe we should just for a minute, before we discuss the rest of the work, the rest of the Hukamnama, shall we just, if you are not driving a vehicle or if you are not driving any machinery, then join me, close your eyes, and if you're driving something, of course don't close your eyes, keep driving and sing along. Waheguru, Waheguru, everybody. Yes, those of you who are just sitting and walking and enjoying a stroll while you listen to this, because I can see your comments. Thank you. Please sing along. Waheguru Satnam Shri Waheguru. Beautiful. Nam Shri Waheguru Satnam Shri Waheguru Satnam Shri Waheguru Satnam Shri Waheguru. Waheguru, 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 Waheguru. Beautiful, beautiful. Now those of you who are here in the live Darbar Sahib, and those of you who are joining us on live, I can hear some of your voices coming in. It's so beautiful, because the next line says Jo tis pave so parvan. Tis the matlab us Waheguru Ji nu, whatever tis pave means changa lagda hai, whatever God likes, whatever is pleasing to the mind of God. Hey mere pai, oh my brothers and sisters, oh Palji, listen to a secret. Paramatma apni rachi srishti bare आप ही सब कुछ जानन वाले हन. He is the inner know of all our desires. When बोले सब कुछ जानता. We don't even need to express it in words. We don't even need to ask God for anything. Whatever we are thinking, God knows it already within our minds. And that's why Guruji says केवल ओही कबूल पैंदा है जड़ा उसनु चंगा लगदा है. Only those thoughts and those people who do beautiful spiritual practices and sing and chant the name of the Lord. And that is the only spiritual practice we need to do. That is the true meditation, the chanting of the name of the Lord. And Guruji says they are approved, they are pleasing to the heart of my God, and God will just give you all the desires of your heart. You don't even need to ask for it. When bolya sab kuch janda, because he knows everything. And that's why those of you who send a lot of prayer requests at ardashukamnama.com, miracleprayerrequest.com, and a lot of other good websites that work with us, we share these meanings with you, we share the shabads with you, because it's not about praying for you, but it's all about praying with you. And as much as you want us to pray for you, yes, the Gyanijis and the spiritual people are all very busy praying for you, and then they will send you a personal message, a hukamnama personally for you into your email or your WhatsApp or any other social media accounts that you contact us through, whether it's Facebook or whatever not. But my point is, when you listen to these Gurbani, even if you don't know the difficult words that we are singing, at least just sing Waheguru Satnam Shri Waheguru Satnam Shri Waheguru. Because Guruji says, then solo es aprobado quen complace al Señor. You and I will be pleasing to God, and He will approve us, and He will say, whatever you want, I give it to you. जो तेरे को भावते हैं सोई परवान हन. और गुरु जी अगे कहते ने, अपनी कुदरत आपे जान रहाऊ. अपनी कुदरत आपे जान. जान दा मतलब ही होंदा है जानन वाला. God knows everything. जो कुछ परमात्मा नू चंगा लगदा है, जीवां नू ओही कुछ सिरे मथे मनना पैंदा है, ओही कुछ जीव करदे हन. Whatever we do in our life, it's always in the hukum, the will of Lord Waheguru Ji, and whatever God makes us do, that is exactly pleasing to the name of the Lord God Waheguru Ji. And that's why the most pleasing thing that we can do is to chant the name of the Lord in the holy congregation as we come together online. And it is so easy. You don't even need to step out of wherever you are, whether you are in the comfort of your homes, whether if you're listening in this car while you drive back from work, or whether it's in the office or wherever you are. Just listen in your on your way to school or wherever you are, because when you want, you can chant the name of the Lord, because God Himself knows His creative omnipotence. That's why we always say Ek Onkar Satnam, and the next word is Karta Purkha. He is the creative being, and not only He, God, is creative being, but if we follow and chant the name of the Lord, then we also become very creative. And apni shakti ko tusi aap ही जानते हो वाहिगुरु जी, अपनी अपार शक्ति ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪ ਹੀ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਹੋ. ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ, we also become as creative, as powerful as God if we just remember ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਤਨਾਮ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਤਨਾਮ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ, because it says Satnam. Sat means eternally. God is that supreme power, Ek Onkar, that one power that's within you and me, that you and I, the most powerful beings, power Satnam. It's in the name of truth, and it shall not only be the name of truth, but in the name of truth, it has creativity. That's why Karta Purkh. But if you read on all the way towards the end, it says Japad, such Jugad, such a happy, such a Nanak Hosi be such. It is going to be true even when before time started to run. When time started to run, this great creative power, creative potency was there. And then when time is running today, even today, you and I are the creative beings, because we are part of that supreme Karta Purkh. And that's why Nirpa or Nirvair, be fearless. Do not have enmity with anybody. Just go out there, achieve the greatest of the greatest success you want to, because sachaa, dharam, punnu, bhalaa, karaae. Sachaa means the truth, the true eternal words that I'm sharing with you. Sada kaim rehne wala. Even after you and I are no more here physically in our body, our soul will survive forever. And pala kam, do good deeds every day, and the best deed we can do is aap japo. Naam Japao, to inspire ourselves to chant the name of the Lord, and then inspire others to sing. So share this MP3 if you're listening to the audio or these videos. Share the link and comment and like it, and subscribe and click on the bell, so that you can understand the real true message of true Sikhism, and not the misrepresentations, misguidance, and the misquoted things that we have been taught for so many years. That's why Palji, jis manuk paso Paramatma सदा थिर रहन वाला नाम सिमरन धर्म करांदे हन. सदा रहन वाला नाम सिमरन is the one name of God, that जहमात पिता सुत मीत ना पाई मन उहा नाम तेरे संग सहाई. In this world and the world hereafter, even our mums, our fathers, dads, brothers, sisters, loved ones, kinsmen, best friends, nobody is going to help us when we have to go up there and धर्म राय जब लेखा मांगे क्या मुख लेके जाएंगा. What kind of face are we going to show and answer for whatever deeds we have done? And the only thing that will help us is naam sang sahai. Jo sachai daan pun ate neki di kamai karda hai. Those people who always live a life of truth, they give lots of good daan pun, donations, and a lot of charity, daswanda, and they serve good people, and they do good deeds. Guruji says, one who practices these three things, truth, righteous living, charity, and good deeds. Okay, four things. Maybe truth, number one, righteous living, charity, and good deeds. Sachaa, hey Parmeshwar dharam brahmanashram ka o pun or pala karam jis se karavta hai. God helps us, inspires us to do all this. Quen prasitisa la verdad vive en la rectitud, la caridad ye la bunenas asiones. So let us pray that, oh Lord, make us be always truthful. Let us always have a righteous living. Let us always do charitable things. And most importantly, let us live a life full of good deeds. Because deen ke to se duni na jaye. Deen ke to se means naam tan ikathe karne naal. Deen ke to se na jaye means nahi vigड़दा. Beautiful message here. Naam simran da नेक भला कर्म करांदा है. God will inspire us to collect the wealth of the naam, the spiritual wealth, and naam tan ikatha kardiyan us di e dunya bhi nahi vigड़दी. Then what happens is, even not only in the court of Lord Waheguru Ji or Dharam Rai, but not only in that time when Dharam Rai is asking us for our account, but even while we are alive, it is the naam wealth that's going to help us, because these supplies for the God's path, worldly success will also come when we collect together the spiritual wealth. Yes, I repeat what I just said. This line tells us that the more we collect the spiritual blessings of God, Waheguru Ji, the greater the success of the world we will get. Cuenta con todos los insumos en el sendero de Dios, y no le va a faltar éxito en el mundo entero. Guruji says, you want worldly success? You want to be the richest man on earth? No problems, Palji. Collect the riches of spirituality, Naam Tan, and even the worldly materialistic wealth will also be yours. Say thank you, Waheguru Ji. Because hey iman de safar kharch di barakat, sansari kamyabi usnu pit nahi dendi. They will not, worldly success will never turn away from you if you focus instead on spiritual success. The problem with most of us is we spend too much time going in the rat race and going from 9 to 5. And what 9 to 5? People say, now I go to office in the morning, early in the morning, and I come back late at night because inflation, cost of living has gone up. I need the prosperity, I need the wealth, I need the riches, I need to be financially independent, I need to be financially free, I need to be financially abundant. And that's why we tell them, then get the future of money, Sewa, cryptocurrency, assets, because they are the real tool, and that's going to help you achieve all this financial abundance, financial freedom, financial prosperity. And they are the real tools that are going to be helping the entire world have sarbat da bhalaa, common prosperity for all mankind, sarbat da bhalaa, the good of all mankind, and sarbat da bhalaa. It will help us if we learn all these technologies, if we then invest in all these technologies, we promote them, we sell them, then we'll prosper together with the future of money, Sewa, cryptocurrency, assets. Because we are doing sarbat da bhalaa, we are doing practicing of good deeds, and financial success will just come to us. It's called navnidhi, 18 siddhi, piche lagiyan fire jo har hirde sada basai. If 24 hours a day we can remember the name of the Lord, then you don't have to go out there and chase after the wealth. It's like when you face the sun, the shadow runs after you. But if you run after the shadow, it will keep going even further away from you, because you have turned your back to the sun. The sun is the all-powerful source of all light, and when we face the sun, the shadow is behind us. That's the same way when we face God and we sing the praises of God, when we come together and understand Gurbani and we chant the name of the Lord. It's like facing God. It's called a Gurmukh. We become a Gurmukh, and the shadow, which is Navnidhi, the 9 wealth, and the 9 types of wealth of this world, and 18 spiritual powers, they will run after us. But the Manmukhs, what do? They turn around and they face the shadow, which is the worldly wealth, and that's why they actually can never get either worldly wealth nor spiritual wealth. But Guruji says, Deen kehto se kharch palle banne kartis की माया भी नहीं जाती. This की माया भी नहीं जाती means worldly wealth will also never leave you. You'll be so wealthy, and God will do everything for you. आप करो हमरे सब काज, which means you don't have to do all kinds of worldly stuff. God will make sure. भूखे भगत ना कीजिए ये माला अपनी लीजिए. Isn't that part of the arti we sing every day here together with everybody? Because Guruji says, I know my Bhagat, those people who are holy, who chant the name of the Lord, they cannot go hungry, because when they're hungry, they they can't chant the name of the Lord. They be thinking of food, food, food. So God will give you so much food, so much abundance, so much good things in your life that God will say, now listen, nothing else is going to be useful. Come and vibrate and chant in this holy congregation with Palji and all his friends and chant the name of the Lord, because you and I have been given this golden opportunity, to go back to God and free ourselves from the 8.4 million species, half on earth, half under sea. And those of you who are doing your exams for the University of Sikhism.com, I keep repeating this number again and again, because in your final exam they're going to ask you this question: 84 lakh means what? And that means 8.4 million living beings, half underwater, half under sea. And Guruji says, Paap jo Waheguru de pyare han, tinke पीछे रितियां सिद्धियां लगियां फिरदियां हन. हाँ जी, तिनके पीछे means these worldly wealth and success will never fail you. मान मांगू तान लक्ष्मी सुत दे मुकत जुगत पुगत पूरन परमानंद परम निदान पे पाए भगत निहाल नानक सदा सदा कुर्बान जन को प्रभ संगे असनेओ साजनो तू मीत मेरा ग्रह तेरे सब के राहो. तू मीत मेरा means you make God our best friend, and then everything you want, you and I will get it. Let's say thank you, Waheguru Ji. Excellent. You can also comment thank you, Waheguru Ji, if you can unmute and say. That's okay, because Guruji says sarab nirantare eko jage. Sarab nirantare means sabna de andar ek ras. We are talking about ek oankar. There is no God outside there. God is you and I. Ek oankar is sarab nirantare eko jage. Or eko means ek parmatma. We are the same. We are that one within and among all. There is this one beautiful energy, and it is jage. Jage means to be awake. Hey जी, जीवा दे की वास है, हर एक जीव उसे उसे काम. वी गोना कंटिन्यू दिस सेंटेंस. सारिया अंदर प्रभु सुचेत होके विचर रहा है, सर्व के बीच एक रस तू ही प्रकाशत है. Within and among everybody, one Lord is awake, and that's the energy that we all have. And lo más profundo de todos los seres el uno solo permanence despierto. And Guruji says, Jit jit laya, tit titu ko lage. Jit means jis paase, ko means koi. Guruji says, Jitu jitu laya, titu titu ko lage, which lagda hai o insan. God is the one who inspires us to do whatever. Ate asi us which lagde han, jis kam which Paramatma sanu lamde han. Jis kise naal swami किसे नाल जोड़दा है, उस दे नाल ही ओ जुड़ जांदा है. जित जित कर्म में जिस जिस को लगाया है, तिस तिस कर्म में सो लगे हैं. ये por la razón que sí que el hombre busque a Dios lo encontrará. ये su deseos seré cumplido. जित जित कर्म में जिस जिस को लगाया है, तिस तिस कर्म में सो लगे हैं. And that's why Guruji age ki kehndे ne, agam agochar sachu sahibu mera. Agam agocharu sachu sahib mera. Agam mean apunch, means he's a little bit beyond our total comprehension. It is difficult to understand, but it is not that you can't reach him. You can, if you put in the effort. It is a little bit beyond our reach. We got to stretch a little bit more, and we can understand God. Agochar matlab go matlab gyan indre. Atte jis tak gyan indriyan di पहुंच नहीं हो सकती. हाँ जी, ते सच्चो सदा थिर रहन वाले वाहिगुरु जी, मेरे प्रभु जी ना. हे प्रभु जी, तुसी सदा कायम रहन वाले मेरे मालक हो. तुसी अपुंछ हो. ज्ञान इंद्रियां दे राही तुहाडे तक असी पहुंच नहीं सकते. You know, with this the senses of the body that we have, the 5 senses of the body, we cannot actually experience and see and feel and touch and lick, because those are the 5 senses, isn't it? To be able to see, to be able to hear, to be able to taste, to be able to which one did I miss out? Touch and feel. Did I do all 5 of them? Sight, the senses of sight, the sight of hearing, the sense of smell. Yes, smell, I forgot, I think. And the sense of taste and the sense of touch. Now in these five senses, we can't touch, we can't hear, we can't feel, we can't smell, and we can't see God. But beyond these five senses, when we go into our spiritual five senses and the many more senses that we have within our spiritual body, then we can suddenly experience God. And not only within ourselves, but Sab Gobind hai, we then suddenly realize that inaccessible and unfathomable God, Waheguru Ji, who's our true Master and Lord, we suddenly know that, oh my God, He was always with us. Nal Narayan Mere, He was always Jaye Taha Sohele. No wonder success comes to those people who understand that God is always with us. Pahunch to pare ate soch samajh to uchera hai tusi Waheguru, achere ho tusi Waheguru, हे मेरे सच्चे स्वामी, जितनी देर तक ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਰੀਰਕ ਸੈਂਸਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਲੱਭਣ ਦੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ, ਪਰ ਜਦੋਂ ਅੰਤਰ ਧਿਆਨ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਅੱਖਾਂ ਬੰਦ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਕਰਕੇ ਭਗਤੀ ਕਰਕੇ ਉਸ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੁਰਤ ਜੋੜਾਂਗੇ, then we can sense Him. The day we attach ourselves, just close our eyes and sing the praises of God. I'm so sorry. Sing the praises of God, then the imperceptible, el insondable, eres tu, o mi Señor verdadero, that inaccessible and unfathomable God suddenly becomes very accessible to us, and we suddenly can fathom all the secrets. Manne surt hove man buddh manne sagal pavan ki sudh. We can know and we can fathom all the secrets of God itself. Tusi mere sache sahibo Waheguru Ji te ਮਨ ਤੇ ਪਰੇ ਹੋ ਤੁਹਾਡੀਆਂ ਜਾਂ ਮੇਰੀਆਂ ਇੰਦਰੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਾ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਾਵਨਾ ਕਠਨ ਸਮਝਦਾ ਹਾਂ, ਪਰ ਮੈਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਨਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਇੰਦਰੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਛੱਡ ਕੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਅੰਤਰ ਧਿਆਨ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਨਾਮ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੁੜਦਾ ਹਾਂ, ਫਿਰ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਹਰ ਥਾਂ ਤੇ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਨ. And in the last line, come, let us just understand the last line, and then we will just connect to that Lord God, because someone yesterday commented that as I listen to Waheguru Satanam Waheguru and I sing with you, Palji, and he's a Chinese Sikh, by the way, it touched my soul. He wrote that, and now he's not even a Sikh, Punjabi born Sikh, but he's a Chinese Sikh. Who is very connected, and that's why we also shared in Spanish, because there's a lot of Brazilian Sikhs who are online and they come for our Amrit Vela Chopera to sing with us and learn with us. Now, I'm not good in my Chinese, that's why I try not to do Chinese and Tamil translations. Sometimes we do Malay translations because a lot of Sangat comes from Indonesia, Malaysia, Brunei, but Chinese is a little bit difficult. But if some of you know and you can speak in Chinese and you can do the same Arth in Chinese, universityofsikhism.com will be very interested to work with you, because in the last lines Guruji says, Nanuk bole bolaya tera tuada das. Das means to become a humble servant. Tantan Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji says maybe we should also become humble servants for a moment, put our ego aside, leave our egoism aside and say, as a very humble servant, Tantan Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji kehndे ne tuada prerya hoya, tuada hi naam ਅਸੀਂ ਉਚਾਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ. You know, today we have understood the importance of having spiritual wealth, but Guruji says, I cannot do it if you do not inspire me to speak your name, to chant your name, to vibrate in your name and to sing your name. Oh Lord, Tantan Sri Guru Ji kehndे ne, I need your help. And as a humble being, if Guru Nanak Dev Ji can do this ardas, then maybe we also should become humble and pray to Lord Waheguru Ji ki pray kariye ki us tarah kehndे han ki jis tarah tusi us paso ko humde ho. Whatever you make me say, that is exactly what I say. And maybe today that I realize I say a lot of worldly things, isn't it? We talk all day long, and we can never shut our mouth when it comes to gossiping, when it comes to nindya, when it comes to criticisms, when it comes to negativity, when it comes to talking bad about other people, or just talking about what's happening in the world and what is not happening in the world and what happened with me yesterday. We talk a lot, but in the last line Guruji says, may you help me, God, please help me. Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, you inspire me to talk, you give us this power to speak. But now give us the power to also chant your name with the same breath instead of wasting it away, gossiping and being critical of others, and just talking about what happened in my life today and what happened in his life today and what happened in her life. Because Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji solo risata aquillo ki tule haksis risitar. Guruji कहते हैं, श्री गुरुजी कहते हैं कि ए जीव तेरी ही बुलाया बोलता है, पाव तेरी ही सता बिना कुछ नहीं कर सकता. हाँ जी, and if we cannot do anything without his inspiration, without his blessings, then Guruji कहते हैं, I today also realize नानक बोलाया बोली तेरा, नानक बोले बुलाया तेरा. So Guruji says, please just help me, O Lord, help me that all the time in Suhi Mehla Panjwa, that I've realized today in summary that if we withdraw ourselves from the path of the God, we attach ourselves to the world, then we shall be the sinner not only in this world but the world hereafter. And the only people who are approved, who are pleasing to the name of the Lord God, are the ones who himself inspires through his creative omnipotence, potence to chant the name of the Lord. So let us be approved, let us be pleasing to God, and that's the Rahau Pankti Jyotis Pave So Parvan Apani Kudrit Ape Jan Rahau. And now in the end, shall we just sachaa dharam pun bhalaa karaae? Because sachaa dharam is to make sure we practice truth, righteousness, charity and good deeds, because deen kehto se duni na jaye. Then these supplies will not only help us to have worldly success, but they will not fail us even in the court of God. So maybe today's message is so beautiful. Let us practice truth, let us practice righteous living, let us practice charity, let us practice good deeds. And I thank you once again for joining us, and I thank of course the University of Sikhism for hiring us to come and do these beautiful service to you. And for those of you who have not obtained the rest of the links to a lot of lectures, every day we try to understand just one Shabad, because the University of Sikhism told us it will take you, Palji, about 15 to 16 years of your life if you just discuss and understand one Shabad every day, because there are more than 5,888 Shabads in the Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. So of those of you who like to give charity and sponsor all these recordings and sponsor, because there are too many students who are now turning to spirituality, especially in India and other poorer nations. And recently, you know, the Ukraine, I mean, some call it the war, some call it a special military operation when Russia attacked them. I just want to let you know there were about 30,000 young Indians who went to Ukraine to do a lot of, excuse me, to do a lot of studies, especially in the medical field. And the reason they left India, just for those of you who don't know, it's because to do the same medical degree in India, it will cost them about 150,000 US dollars. But in Ukraine, it was only about half the price, 75,000 US dollars. But now the problem is because of the war, and today as I record this is in 2022. Today is the March 24th, 2022. So I do not know which day you are listening to this recording, but as of today, this Hukamnama is on the 24th of March, 2022, and it is the 28th day of this conflict with Russia and Ukraine. And Guruji says, of course these conflicts happen. Why do they happen? We already discussed that in the last few lectures, and if you want, you can always listen to those recordings. But I come back to the dire situation of our 30,000 Indian students who left India, and they have gone, and many from Punjab. Their parents had to sell away their land, and they had to take a big loans. They had to downsize their homes, and they had to they had to literally save over many years to be able to send their children for all these studies. But because of the war, they are being displaced and they can't continue their studies, and they don't know how to repay their loans from the banks that they took for their studies for their children. And there are many farmers who are suicidal because they sold their lands away, and they promised the landowner, the new landowner who gave them money so their kids could go to study, that I will work for you, I'll farm for you, and in return I'll pay your loan back. But they are now suicidal because the children can't even get their qualifications, cannot even graduate and become doctors and become other professionals, and then be able to pay back the loans and the buy back their lands or take it back on whatever. So the University of Sikhism.com decided that we do not have, of course, currently the laboratories and the medical facilities to teach them medical same education that they were going to get in Ukraine and other parts of the world. But what we will at least do for these people is to help them to become professionals in elder care. Number one is basically in palliative care, in elder care, disability care, and also very importantly in terms of child care in some of their cases. The reason is this: because for that we do not need those kind of high-end laboratories for now, but we are already getting a lot of feedback from good Sikhs all over the world who says, would you like to have us sponsor these facilities and this education, because we cannot charge these students any more school fees. So a lot of good Sikhs want to give scholarships, want to give bursaries, especially to those students who can't afford education, number one, and number two, those who went for education but because of the Ukraine-Russian war today on the 24th of March, the 28th day in the year 2022, and I don't know when you are listening to this, maybe the war will be over, or some people are saying it may escalate to become a World War III, and if the World War III happens, and then of course the world is destroyed because they want to use nuclear power and nuclear weapons against each other, and then you and I won't be listening to this katha anymore. But the good news is, if some of you would like to sponsor or give scholarships, there are 30,000 such cases, both within India alone itself, forget about other students from other countries. And that's why I end off with this, that if you like to give scholarships not only to those students but maybe other needy students, so they can understand that the four beautiful messages in today's Hukamnama is: let us all practice truth, righteous living, charity and good deeds. Then please do get back to us. Work with UoS0743a that we can share the true and the sachaa and the sucha message of Sikhism and make this world a real Sachkhand, a real heaven on earth. क्योंकि फिर असी मान तान ते तान दे नाल सेवा करके अपना जीवन सफल करके असी भी सचखंड वासी बन के बेगमपुरा शहर को नाओ देवासी बन के आवागमन दे चक्कर तो बच सकीए। जे तुसी कोई सेवा करनी चाहते हो ਜਾਂ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਦੋਸਤ ਮਿੱਤਰ ਵੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਨੀ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਨ ਤਾਂ ਪਲੀਜ਼ universityofsikhism.com ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਡਿਸਕਸ਼ਨ ਕਰੋ, ਜਾਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ, ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਨੈਕਟ ਕਰਾ ਦਿਆਂਗੇ। ਤੇ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰੋਗੇ, it will help not only you achieve lots of great blessings, because uste chogun kare nihal, God blesses you 4 times more when you do actually these kind of good charities and good deeds, and you live a life of truth and righteous living. Once again, I'm your Palji, and this has been brought to you by beautiful good people at kirtanshop.com, where you can get all this material, and also the University of Sikhism.com that gives us all the study material. And I thank you once again for joining us. Please do remember to share, forward this to everybody, so they can also learn that we do not want to be called sinner in both this world and the world hereafter. We want to be approved and we want to be pleasing to God, and that can only happen when we connect ourselves to the name of the Lord, practice truth, righteous living, charity and good deeds. Last word, sachaa, dharam, bhalaa, karaae. God will inspire us. Please do join us every day. Once again, thank you and have a very good day. But before we end off, let us just chant Waheguru Satnam Shri Waheguru Satnam Shri Waheguru Satnam Shri Waheguru Satnam Shri Waheguru Satnam Waheguru Satnam Shri Waheguru.